When it comes to mulching, the guiding principle is to replicate Mother Nature. In most forest settings, you'll find leaf litter or arbor droppings on the forest floor, bits and pieces of bark, twigs, faded flowers, fruits, and leaves. They're usually piled up to about a 3 to 4 inch depth. Seeing is believing, so the next time you feel the need for a road trip, drive to a nearby forest preserve or nature center and kick your way through the trees. Reach down and examine what's fallen off the trees. You'll find that some of the leaf litter is in the process of decomposing. And under that, you'll find black gold, natural compost. The decomposition process is how nutrients are cycled back to the tree and eventually picked up by the roots. Trees need an area for leaf and arbor droppings to break down and be recycled. Trees planted in restricted areas or with lots of rock or concrete around them, such as near grain bins or driveways, develop poorly due to a compromised root system, in part due to the lack of nutrient recycling. When mulching around trees, consider what's best for the plant as well as what's practical for your acreage. Start by placing mulch 2 inches away from the tree trunk and extend it as far away from the tree as is practical. 6 to 8 feet is not too much. Avoid mulch volcanoes, those obnoxious-looking loads of mulch dumped at the base of trees. The trunk of a tree should remain open to the air, otherwise a more favorable environment for diseases such as armillaria root rot is created. Real men don't eat quiche, and real horticulturists and arborists and acreage owners don't use rock mulch. Again, replicate nature by using plant byproducts. Oh sure, in windy areas, rock might make sense. However, you lose the benefits of cooling the soil, suppressing weeds, and recycling nutrients. Next, John Fech is going to describe 10 materials you might think about using for mulch. Each of these materials has certain characteristics that should be considered when choosing mulch for your property.
Wood chips are usually free and can be obtained from tree services. Pine needles are usually free, but removing them from your existing pines can be detrimental. Also, using borrowed needles can be problematic as foliar diseases can be held on the surfaces. Cypress mulch can be expensive. Much of cypress mulch is made from areas where trees are cut and then not replanted. Bark nuggets can be pricey, but usually the larger sizes reduce washing and blowing away, important on an acreage. Smaller particle-sized products such as cedar chunks can be lost to the wind, but are good overall. Using ground corn cobs gives you a chance to get to know your corn farming neighbors. 2-inch size chunks are better than smaller ones. With prairie hay, you can use material that isn't the finest for animals to eat, but use caution to avoid applying an overly thick layer. Cocoa bean holes can be expensive, but add a wonderful aroma to the landscape. Be sure to use a thin layer only, as they have a tendency to mat and cut off oxygen to the plant roots. Cottonseed holes are similar to cocoa bean holes, except for the wonderful aroma. Stump grindings are free and can be easily obtained by scooping up the residue left after a tree is removed and the stump is ground out. They tend to be a little on the coarse side, but usually make a good mulching material overall.
This program was written and narrated by John Fech with a little help from Jan Hingstrom. We both work with the University of Nebraska Lincoln Extension.